Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we'll be looking at the latest reports surrounding Manchester United. It's that time of the year again where transfer rumours are here, there and everywhere. And our captain is being linked with a possible move away whilst he looks for a bigger and better deal at Manchester United. The possibility of him moving away kind of looms over it with discussions and reports, although unconfirmed, that his agent has spoken with Barcelona and Bayern Munich amongst clubs interested in Manchester United's captain. We'll be getting stuck into some of those reports, giving you my opinion on them, and also look out at what other stories are floating around out there as well, linking Manchester United with players coming in. Of course, there's a lot of talk about Erik ten Hag and his future and whether he's going to be there. Although, as we discussed on Stretford Paddock yesterday, if the decision is to keep him, then there isn't an announcement to be made. So we're kind of in this weird position where the media have kind of told us that, United are looking at different options for the manager. The manager has kind of alluded to being unsure of his position in press conferences and interviews and things, but has also come out and said stuff like, I'm going on holiday and, as far as I'm aware, I'm a Manchester United manager. So if they are to stick with him, then surely there's no announcement to be made. But everyone's kind of been whooped up into this frenzy of thinking like there could be a movement, there could be movement with another manager. So we're in that position as well, but we'll get stuck into all of it. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, you're liking, commenting, sharing, and all that good stuff on the channel as well. We got a big summer ahead. Obviously, Ineos in charge of their first summer at Manchester United in terms of making those footballing decisions. The talk about the managers going on. We've got pre-season. We're heading out there with Stretford Paddock, where we'll be going to Los Angeles, San Diego, and South Carolina. So really looking forward to that this summer. And hopefully Manchester United can fill us with a little bit of optimism that things could change moving forward, whether that will be with Erik ten Hag or not. Who knows at this moment in time. But like I said, there may not be a decision to be made because he's going to be Man United manager. So let's see what happens. But as I was saying, there's been talk in the last couple of days that Bruno's agent's been speaking and discussing things with Bayern Munich and Barcelona and seeing what kind of deal he could get. And today, Jamie Jackson has published a report that says Bruno Fernandes is pushing for a new contract from Manchester United that will take him into the top pay bracket with the likes of Marcus Rashford, Casemiro and Sancho, it says. But obviously Casemiro looking like he's leaving the club, and Jadon Sancho as well. And it says that the captain waits for clarity regarding manager and the club's long-term vision before deciding whether to seek a transfer. Although the Manchester United hierarchy led by Sir Jim Ratcliffe view Bruno as the team's best player and are not actively looking to sell him, the need to bring in funds and reduce the wage bill in order to invest significantly in the squad may mean any realistic offer will be countenanced. Fernandes signed a deal in April 2022 worth around £220,000 a week. That runs to 2026 with an option for a further 12 months. Obviously, we're in 2024 at the moment. That means he's got 2 years more left with a potential for another year to 2027, which is quite interesting. But it is understood Fernandes feels undervalued and wishes to be in the highest band of earners. Now, I can understand why Bruno Fernandes would think that. I really can. I think Bruno Fernandes is absolutely fantastic. He's someone that turns up more often than not for Manchester United, even if that's just in putting in effort. We know he has his bad games, but he always puts in effort. And then if you look at just how good he is in terms of his creativity, scoring goals, etc., is fantastic. And I can totally see why he would want to be the top earner or one of the top earners at Manchester United. He's at that age where his next contract, or if there is a next contract at Manchester United, is probably going to be his biggest contract. And we could see those kind of stories linking him with Barcelona and Bayern Munich, maybe just being put out there by his agent to kind of get Manchester United acting and seeing if Manchester United will bump up his contract. Now, I think they should, but at the same time, if he's demanding, let's say he wants 350k a week, 400k a week, I can totally see Ineos and those kind of people being in a position where you go, right, his next contract is going to take him into his 30s. How old is Bruno Fernandes now, actually? He's not 30 yet, is he? Maybe he is, I don't know. He's 29, he's 30 in September. So, you very rarely give long-term deals to someone in 30, although football's changed now and players do play for much longer and all those kind of things. I'd imagine they'll be looking at giving long-term deals to younger players. So with that being said, they may be in a position where they go, we'd love to keep him, But would we love to bump his contract up to X amount? Probably not. I can see that becoming a thing. Now, I hope Bruno Fernandes doesn't leave Manchester United, and I hope the contract thing, if he signs a new deal, can get, maybe just bump it up to 300k a week or something, which would be reasonable for a player of his abilities. And maybe you don't extend the contract by too much, because, you know, it would take him up into like 32, 33, where you want to kind of gauge where we're at in terms of our team by that point, and where Bruno Fernandes is at in terms of his fitness and everything like that as well, because he plays an awful lot of football. So maybe that's something they'll look at doing. But it's very interesting at this moment in time. Kind of, you got the manager thing all up in the air, and then this kind of captain, Bruno Fernandes. I'd hate to see him go. I absolutely adore Bruno Fernandes, and it may just be posturing for a new deal. It may just be that, or it may just be Bruno Fernandes wants to know that he's well thought of by Ineos, and they, you know, he wants to be kept around. It may just be, there's so much posturing that can take place. Manchester United are being linked with numerous players, as you would imagine, but there's also been further movement in the staff above the manager. Toby Craig, formerly of Chelsea and Man City, is to become Man United's new Chief Communications Officer. He worked with incoming CEO Omar Barada at Manchester City and will replace the outgoing Ellie Norman. So he will join Manchester United in July, and that comes from Mike Keegan at the Mail. Manchester United are being linked with João Neves as well by Portuguese reports. They're saying Manchester United have already submitted a £51 million bid for João Neves, but that's been rejected, and they want at least £85 million. João Neves, a highly thought of young midfield player, linked with numerous big clubs, 19 years old. So, you know, you can see his transfer fee being quite big. Is well thought of in European football. I haven't seen too much of him myself personally. I'm not going to pretend that I have, but I do know he's been linked with a whole host of clubs, and Manchester United's a name that keeps popping up with him. And you'd expect, if Ineos are taking a route down that, you know, looking at all the stats of these younger players and aiming to bring younger players into the club, maybe he is a name that would pop up on a lot of their reports. But I'd imagine there's a lot of players that will be linked with Manchester United over the next couple of weeks. We're also seeing in Sport Witness as well, who have picked up the Yogo reports, or Hogo, however the hell you say it, that are linking Sporting centre-back Gonçalo Inacio to Manchester United as well. And everyone in Portugal's kind of gone with it. They're saying that Manchester United have made initial contacts for information on the potential signing, and now are preparing to present an offer. He has a €60 million price tag in terms of his release clause, though. So lots of rumours linking Manchester United with players, and I'm sure there'll be lots of players linked with exits at Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes is the last player that I would want to see leave Manchester United, though. Say it ain't so, Bruno. I think I would give him a new deal. Maybe not, you know, that top end. Like I say, you got to kind of get Manchester United into a position where we're not just giving out these huge contracts. Although, again, Bruno Fernandes is probably someone that deserves it. But, you know, it's a weird position where probably Bruno's right for asking it. And depending on what it is, if it was 400k or something, Ineos will probably be right in going, that's not for us. Happy to keep you. Maybe we'll bump it up to 300k, but they're not going to go that far. Do you know what I mean? So who knows? But hopefully this doesn't develop into Bruno leaving. At least that's my opinion. I know people are kind of split on him. Let us know your thought in the comments below. We'll be back with more videos, and I'll see you soon.